What is happening? Am I streaming? Whoa, that's crazy. What game is this? I think that's a new Monster Hunter game. That's cool. Let's go fight let's go fight some sort of Electro T-Rex. Nobody's here. Nobody knew that this was gonna happen, so this will probably get posted on YouTube later. That's why I'm talking right now. I'm not just talking to myself. Good times, good times. Anyway, don't worry about it. Let me see if I have some sort of... Yes. A lucky voucher. So yeah, I've been playing this game a lot. I'm pretty crazy about it. It's finally getting to the point where I'm slowing down, where I'm not like constantly thinking about Monster Hunter, but this game did it to me. I was thinking about Monster Hunter a lot there for a while. Oh yeah, also there's no guarantee that my computer's going to be able to stream and run this game at the same time. As you can see, especially if you were to, say, compare it to somebody else's stream of Monster Hunter, I am running this with like the specs of like a Nintendo DS. So we'll see if I can handle it. I might not. This might crash. We'll see. Well, that's okay. That turns on all my powers. Also that. I don't know how the volume is for this. Hopefully you guys can kind of hear the game. So yes, I am fighting with a great sword. There's 14 different weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay, I'm in trouble. I started out with a heavy bowgun, but very quickly I was like, okay, like it seems like this game wants me to fight in melee. Whoa. Hey dude, what's up? Can you believe it? Did it work? It worked. Yeah, I actually like very quickly went through and was like, okay, let me turn on my robot, like my cloud bot or whatever it's called again. And the quote seemed to be working because I was like, if I get this thing up and running and quote 13 is not there, I'm going to lose my audience. Hey! Look at that, everybody's here. The 6 people who have ever watched my stream are here. So yeah, this isn't a like honest to goodness return to Twitch. I'm just like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I want to play video games, and also I'm also enjoying this game and want to talk about it. So anyway, yeah, there's like 14 weapons in Monster Hunter Wilds. I started out with a heavy bowgun. Did not like I enjoyed it. It was fine, but I was like, this game wants me to be in melee. Like this game is clearly designed for like all of these like crunchy melee hits. So then I went with the switch axe. According to Rob Rasmussen, who you guys might know from Critical Hit, he says that I went from one of the easiest weapon to one of the hardest. And since then, I've kind of slowly been playing with other weapons. Great sword, bow, and lance is basically what I've been playing with recently. All of these raptors are fighting this guy now. I'm I'm much more used to fighting or to playing like turn-based stuff in on stream. So I'm sorry if I don't see your stuff right away. Like I'm concentrating. I gotta figure a way to like. I guess I need to sharpen my stuff. Yeah, take a hiatus from the hiatus. That's exactly right. Every once in a while, you just want to come back and see how everybody's doing. See if your stuff still works. Mostly it doesn't. Um, Streamlabs has gone through like some, changes. So it's like a lot of the stuff that I had got dropped. Like I don't have any of my individual like custom transitions that I had done. Twitch I think still remembers my stuff, so like the emotes should still be there. But I don't know what else. Freaking alright. We gotta chase it down now. I have never taken the self-discipline to learn ranged weapons, but I do hear from ranged users it is a way of life. Yeah, I wouldn't. So I wouldn't go as far as to call the bow a ranged weapon. I know that sounds crazy, but the bow actually wants to be at like mid-range, right? It's like with a heavy bow gun, you are like far away from the monster, and basically every once in a while the monster charges you, and you just gotta block it. But with the bow, you gotta get close to the monster. Like you gotta constantly be like moving back and forth because if the monster gets close to you, you lose your range. You lose your ability to deal damage. So, diggity diggity doo. Lightning T-Rex. Lightning T-Rex. Lightning T-Rex would probably hit a lot harder for me if I had ever played any other Monster Hunter games. I'm pretty sure he's a returning thing from another game. So, I mean, still cool, you know. This is actually not just a lightning T-Rex. Spoiler alert. It's like a lightning synthetic organism T-Rex. Like you do. Okay. All right. Let me get back on my chicken and reposition here. Thanks, randos. Now we can carve up this sauropod. Weird to think, Harvester says, weird to think about it's like a great bow, but it wants a medium range, not a far range, like you'd think. Yeah, absolutely. It is weird. This game is weird. It's got some weird ideas about its weapons. Yeah, he's a subspecies from World Iceborne, and the base originated in World. Base Anja was also in Rise. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can make the first. Let's see if we have enough materials to make the first version of our T-Rex Greatsword. Oh, this is the biggest one I've encountered yet. Look at that. Hard to tell when you've got all the textures turned down. Hey, St. JW. Yeah, everybody's hanging out today. Again, this is not an official return to Twitch. But, yeah, every once in a while. So, here's why I kind of stopped being on Twitch. It wasn't anything to do with Twitch. It just really... Nope, that's not what I want. It was very difficult for me to maintain a schedule. And When I got on, people were, or like Twitch was like, hey, you need to maintain a schedule. Lily, come here. Come here. Oh, I can't believe we have an appearance by Lily. Look, everyone, it's Lily. She's like, what the heck? Lily is very old. She is very old. She's like 17 years old. But she's still pretty spry. We took her to the doctor, and the doctor was like, this cat has the urine of a kitten, which I guess is a good thing. I also think it's possible that she's been doing weed and she just paid a kitten for her urine. Anyway, you might hear that cat meow every once in a while. She's around. Okay, we need more fangs. So, my hunt is not for a... my hunt is not for a tempered guy. So I think maybe I should look for that instead. That'll give us more loot. Yeah, unofficial return, just for people who know. Damn, she should give it back, huh? What should she give back? Have you just done multiplayer with players, or have you tried taking support hunter characters along? Yeah, I've played. So I played all the way through the main game, mostly with support hunters. Like immediately the moment that a mission started, I sent out the SOS flare. I am not a guy who is trying to seem like he knows what he's doing. Like I'm like, please help me. Speaking of help, I am going to switch to switch axe because I've realized that it's hard for me to talk and fight at the same time, so I'm most familiar with switch axe, so hopefully this will be easier. Then again, the switch axe is complicated. Anyway, now that I'm at high rank, I basically just sit here and I'm like, what do I need? I need some stuff. Let me get some randos together and go find it. I've tried to join servers or whatever they're called, squads, but they are they never play when I'm playing, which is now very late at night, right? I'm on the West Coast. So this is late night in the West Coast, right? So nobody's on right now. Nobody on any server that I've ever wanted to play or that I've ever joined is on at this time. So I always end up playing with like absolute randos, right? Not even a lower sample of randos in a random server. Sometimes, like there's been a couple times where I just like will look for a like Twitch streamer just so that I can like jump in on their stuff and have like people to regularly run for one night or whatever. But it's getting late. Like people are already moving past Monster Hunter. So, like here I am like a month after it came out, right? Like being like, "Oh, I love Monster Hunter." Everybody's already moved on. Oh, she should give it back the pee. That's what you were talking about. She should return the poor kitten's urine. What if they need it? Yeah. Lagnus says, I really liked MHW, but I don't have anything that can run this. Yeah. I feel that. Like I said, I am running this very, very basically. Oh, I need to talk to Alma. All right, let's find a Tempered Guardian Fulgur Anjanath. Is not a phrase that I have ever said before, but let's do it. Harvester says, I was auto-toggled onto Big Rando Lobby when I first started the game. I quickly left that and went online solo entirely. Later, I learned about bringing on a support hunter, and it's been nice. Okay. Oh, nobody has, like, nobody, literally nobody right now is trying to hunt a big stupid T-Rex. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if just in case there happens to be one. Nope. All right. I am going to, let's see if like this tells me anything. Okay. So there is one coming later, but I don't really know how to read this. It's like 30 minutes from now there's gonna be one. So I guess we'll just hunt normal ones until that guy shows up. Harvester says I've been maining SNS and lands. And lately I've been teaching myself hunting horn. I don't want to join / send SOS requests while I'm still a noob with the smaxophone. You know what? I feel that when I first started messing with each of these weapons, I was doing it solo. But what you should do is run with randos, just do easy quests, right? Just do like, if you're like at 5 stars, do like 4-star quests or whatever until you get a hang of it, and then whatever. I think I think the game kind of what I want to say, like the game like evens you out. Like if you join a much lower quest, it like reduces your damage. So there's not even like too much of a risk of you just like showing up and like punking out a chemitress, right? Like it's still gonna be like a few hits. Like aside from the fact that it like that it like shrinks your damage, it also like yeah, it like evens it out, I think. Likeness says, in MHW, I would send up that flare when needed, and Japanese ninjas would descend on my location and kill everything in the forest. Yeah, so because I play so late, a lot of the randos that end up showing up are Chinese and Japanese. So that's fun, I guess. Getting to play with people from all over the world. That's nice. Um, of course, it's also nice that Monster Hunter, like, whoa, hang on, a Wyvern coin. Oh, those are valuable. Okay, carry on. Oh yeah, that's my Palico Spooky Mel. Harvester says, I do want to look into that. Yeah, I initially started a new character to learn Horn, and then started making them on the main character a little competence. Okay, yeah. Why does this guy start out electrocuted? Is that a thing? Why does that happen? Oh, do they keep getting hit by those, like, paralyzed goats? Okay, here's a good reason to run Switch Axe. Not that, not getting blown up. The fact that you can latch onto monsters. If you actually hit them. This is the only weapon that can do that. You know, the, like, Insect Glaive and Sword and Shield and stuff, they can mount monsters much more easily than Switch Axe, but the Switch Axe is the only one that can latch onto monsters like a weirdo. It's like, come here, monster. Oh, I am smelling something. Is somebody being mischievous over there? There we go. Yeah, as it turns out, also Switch Axe might be too much brain power for me to play and talk. Fortunately, this is just a normal Electro Mutant T-Rex, as opposed to a what they call, like, tempered ones. I got crushed. So I think that Wilds is a game that a lot of new people have jumped in on, like me. And there's like a very wide skill gap because sometimes I go in and people are like freaking on top of it. Like hunts take like 5 minutes. Like the monsters don't know what hit them, just obliterated, right? And sometimes like not that hard monsters will like wipe out everybody else except for me, because I feel like I'm solidly in the middle. Like I can, if I'm playing with a bunch of experienced players, I'm like, okay, I'll try not to get in anybody's way. And if I'm playing with a bunch of noobs, then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to play like intelligently so that we can like get this accomplished. Um, Maybe I'm not in the middle. Maybe you know how it is like people are very bad at assessing their own competency. Let's see. When about a Pokemon TCG Pocket and Legos match most often with players from thereabouts? Yeah, yeah. Like clearly, this is the late night crew, right? So, um, probably yeah, East Asia and maybe some European countries. Oh, and Australia. That's we. We do have a bit of an Australian audience here too sometimes. We knocked the tail off. Did I leave the tail behind? Dang it! I always forget to chop the tail or to carve the tail. I'm gonna die. Okay, no, I didn't die. Yeah, I've got some of the best armor in the game right now, which is not ever something that I say about video games. But as it turns out, you can just raid the final boss over and over again and get yourself some like pretty cool duds. Full release slash. That monster is upset. Oh, should I try to do the thing where we trap it? Wherever it goes, I'll trap it when it gets there. Move over here. A monster. There we go. Okay, let me get some sleepy bombs. There we go. Okay. Lagna says I was world champion caliber in MHW. I went to Top Gun school for hunters. Yeah, crikey. Yeah, I know. I missed the tail. So, that sucks. Retired from the game when my cat geese died. Aw. Harvester, keep hitting it until it dies. I've got, but the elusive don't get hit part still denies me. Yeah, actually, it's funny because I because I technically started with a switch axe. Like that's when I kind of really started getting the game. The switch axe can't block; it can only dodge, and it does have like offsets and counterattacks. But as you might expect, I'm not very good at those. So I just dodge a lot. And so now that I've been playing Lance, and the Lance always wants to block, now I'm like, oh, I should learn to block with like other weapons. So it's like I went to switch axe and then to greatsword and bow. So I would always just dodge, and then I went to lance and kind of started learning to block. And I'm like, wait a minute, the longsword, like the greatsword, can block. So I've been like blocking, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is so much better. Like I don't get out of position when the monster tries to attack me. I just block the monster's attack, and it doesn't do like it does very little damage. And that's okay. Why do I keep smelling like my pets did something bad? Oh well. We'll just clean it later. Playing Lards and Sword and Shield have definitely helped me work on my knee-jerk reaction and actually block too, yeah. Lagnus says, my main goal in Monster Hunter was always to have good-looking armor. Absolutely. You guys want to see? You guys want to see my fashion show? Let me change. Let me change to a lance here, so that I don't forget later. But yeah, fashion show. Fashion show. Um, Lagna says people who mix different armor for the best stats are not cyberpunk enough. So now, once you get to high rank in Monster Hunter Wilds, you can just have your armor look however you want. So yeah, you can have like my armor. I do have mostly the same armor, um, with like one piece of different armor for like a different ability. Um, but now you can just make your equipment look however you want. So this is what my hang on, let me. So if we didn't have the layered armor system, this is what my character would look like right now. So it's like, wow, that really matches up, except for like that giant sweater, like that giant lizard sweater, right? Um, so yeah, let's see some of my fits. Harvester says, "Have you ever went to check out Rise and Sunbreak? I have to say the lance felt so good in that game. I finally got it. Got it, you know. Whilst lance is tight, but so far it isn't the same magic. Yeah, I get that. Um, Layered armor rules, fashion. This is definitely yeah. This is a it's a statement jacket. You're right. Okay. Um, so obviously this wasn't the case, but I've like sort of reimagined how this character would have started off if I got my choice of armor. So this is kind of what I think of as her core look. Um, I made this character to have a really messed up eye, which I'll show more here in a bit. But you can see that her face is all scratched up. Um, just kind of giving her a backstory, like she got mauled by some monster or whatever. So this is kind of like her, like if I was starting the game and got to choose my armor, this is what she would look like. Right, very Monster Hunter, very early game Monster Hunter look. This launched me into the stratosphere. Okay. This is the summer fit. It's mostly a new Udra thing with some Lalabarina and Congalala accents. Easy breezy. Yeah, you can see her eye. So I couldn't give her like a white eye, so I gave her a completely black eye. So some monster venom thing, right? Probably. Um, to complete in the ugliest giant lizard sweater competition. Yeah, I actually love that stupid sweater. I actually incorporated it into something else. Great Tactics era Final Fantasy 2. Yeah, totally. Okay, next fit. Yeah, so this is like desert style or like just hot in general style. Like there's a like a fiery furnace world that you go to here, so this is kind of what I picture her wearing then. Although it also kind of fits for the sand, as long as you work with the Monster Hunter conceit that like nothing can irritate a woman's belly. That's why Gemma is like always hammering at her forge with like an exposed midriff and not being completely covered in horrible blisters. So I'm using that trope to apply to this character as well. I do enjoy the mix of symmetrical and asymmetrical designs. Yeah, definitely. I love the asymmetry. So this is hot weather stuff. This is cold weather stuff. I think this one looks really good. There's only one thing that I don't like about it, and that's that this back here looks like the thing that's holding it back looks like an athletic sock, and you can't change the color of it for some reason. So what are you gonna do? Yeah. So this is the winter look. This is just kind of a general armored look. I think the Balahara armor looks really good. And I kind of never used it to begin with. I think I would be like a lot of this stuff, a lot of these looks, I think I would be more tired of them, except that I was playing in a very haphazard way. So like I never had like too many parts of any single outfit. But this mixes up multiple things. Actually, I might change the waist piece at some point. I think I have something that fits a little bit better. This one I like a lot. This is another sort of like desert look. Um, it's kind of spooky, but these blue feathers I think are very cool. Harvester says Gemma's belly not being super freckled from all the flying sparks is a funny choice. I mean, forget freckled. She should have like third-degree burns on it. But yes, the like basically in Monster Hunter, right? There's layered armor, so Gemma is actually just like a really high level, just like I'm a level high rank hunter. She's a high rank smith, so she's wearing like a full mask and like an apron and like a coat and gloves. But her layered look is just like, oh, I've got my midriff exposed. Uh, Snow pinup. I think it's important to do something sexy every once in a while. This is some kind of Boris Vallejo stuff. Harvey says, though, like, I think her people from MH4 were very dwarf-coated humans and as such are less phased by smithing. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I didn't know. I kind of recently learned what a Wyverian even was, and I know that's a separate thing. But I was like, they have elves in this world, and then I read up on it, and it's like, oh no, there's like, these are weirdly like dragon people. Does this turn, does turning this into a fashion stream as derailment enough? I mean, you've seen my Pokemon stuff. Like really the derailment is like the actual game, right? I'm here for fashion. Part of the reason why I'm so into this game is because I get to play dress up. The reason that I like part of the reason that I was into that Pokemon game and part of the reason why I was ever into Mortal Kombat 11. I was like, you get to change people's hats? I'm in. Here we go. Here's that jacket back, but now I think incorporated a little bit better into kind of a modern fit. Um, you just kind of get armor that looks cool. I'm not too worried about this like looking like jeans and stuff. Like I wanted it to look like jeans. I know that doesn't necessarily fit, but Monster Hunter is kind of a huge hodgepodge, so I don't know. There might be jeans around. Harvey says they're basically MH elves as far as I'm concerned. They are dragon descended, but they hit a lot of the pop culture traits of fantasy elves. I like that they can be any size. That's my favorite thing about them, is that they can just be gigantic or like tiny. Harvester says, my one thing with that helm, the hat plus hood, doesn't work great for me personally. Oh, sure. Let's see. So, one thing that I don't love about this, like, an option that I wish we had, um, this is like her action figure look, is I wish I could have different haircuts with different outfits. Because sometimes, some of them, like, it's like you always have things where, like, the hair clips. And so for some outfits, it looks really bad. So I'm like, oh, I can't use this piece because my character has long hair. And I'm not going to go. This is just like that, a full-on thing. This is kind of like all wyvern stuff, so some like Kutku and Raytheon stuff. Um, but yeah, I wish you could change the haircut along with the armor, or like set, like set a preset. Um, this I feel is like a very 90s look, like girl with like a crop top and like giant armored pants, right? That's the thing. Harvey says, "Ooh yeah, average human size to large to scrunch, especially in old age. It's a great variance. Yeah, I dig it. If you're gonna have elves in your game, don't be a coward. Let them be enormous. I'm very proud about this one. I think this one turned out really good. It's got some like very bone pieces, but also pieces that are bone-like, and so when you turn them that color, they also look like bone, which is nice. Boop. Norp. Let's see. This one I think turned out very well too. Um, yeah, not much to say about it other than it looks creepy. I use the Arajakan or whatever hands a lot, just because they like really pop. The like tracing on them is like very distinctive. Um, but I might change it later if it turns into something else. I call this one New 52. It's like, I think this is like a very New 52 look, right? If you read any of the New 52 DC, this is what every character looked like. Harvestry says, what's funny to me is that Wyverians who have longer lifespans and seemingly higher thresholds of power are never the characters we play. Hunter PCs are always human and do their thing through apparently sheer determination. Yeah, somebody was like, being like, Wilds will finally explain how hunters are so powerful. And I'm like, I think hunters are powerful because they're like well-trained people. It's just in this world, you can train to lift a weapon that is like 6 times heavier than you, right? Like it's just training. But I'm new here, so I don't know. Harvester says, oh, I added a quote. If you're going to have elves in your game, don't be a coward and let them be enormous. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a while. You have to be especially licensed to use these tools. Yeah, that's about it, and that's fine. I actually really like it. I actually really like the lore of Monster Hunter and the way that the guild works, and that they're basically giant conservationists. It's just that the animals in this world are giant monsters, or some of them are anyway. Um, Here's another spooky look. This one's like a little bigger, like more shoulders, more hands, kind of a thing. Uh, oh, this is when I started learning Lance. I was like, I need to make a Lance outfit. So this was my Lance outfit for a long time. Quote number 25. The queen is dead, and I have her amulet. Rodrigo on September 14, 2022. I think that is unimportant, probably. Gems of War, yes. Harvester says, Wild definitely took more of the lore into the forefront than the main narrative. That's great. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, this is a good outfit for a Lance. It's like very classic. Let's see. This one I called Vault Girl because not on purpose, but it came out looking kind of Fallouty with the color scheme. But this is another kind of 90s look, I think. Especially, like, I use this with, like, really big weapons, right? This one I don't love, but it's like, I try to put all the wiggly bits together. So, like, as you can see, there's, like, jiggle physics for this hat and these clothes. It's gross, but I don't know. I was like, okay, well, let's put all the jiggly stuff together and see how it looks. Here's my Apocalypse furry outfit. I'm not making any excuses. This one I'm still working on. But I think you see where you're going. It's just like very like rocket robot girl, maybe. I don't know. This is like a very robot-y girl, just with like a couple things. Give her a big bow and yeah, some like ties for the hands. Still working on that. Not crazy about it. And then this is, oh yeah, I wanted to use this like cloak. Um, and it's like, yeah, here's this character, and he's like just wearing like the Kutku armor, and underneath is all like spooky gray stuff. This one I'm also still working on. We'll see. Um, my Lance outfit is a cap, bike pants, and yeah, I can see that midriffs fighting off that ambient radiation. Yeah. Man, I really like the concept of Rumpumpolo and really dislike the actual inflated balloon look its gear. Yeah, I can see that. I appreciate it from a design place, but never want to wear it. So, sea lich adorned in coral? Yeah, that's rad, actually. That's a good idea. Um, what I don't like about the Rumpumpolo armor is that um, that you can't change the color. That so much of it is purple and you can't depurplify it. Um, let's see if that T-Rex has shown off yet. Up. Oh, I can make I can make a mission where you have to fight two T-Rexes to complete the mission. And I kind of want to do that. But first I have to clear out some space because I have too many investigations. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of the Auto Garen. Since I already have another. Oh, I had a Tempered Guardian full Garanganath investigation. Oh well. Double T-Rex, am I right? Double T-Rex all the way across the sky. This is going to be so confusing. People are going to be showing up to fight the wrong one. Yeah, those kind of setups are rough, and pieces with like an accent history that never changes. Yeah. Hey, it worked. Yep, I've still got. All right, I think it's sending me against the. Oh, is this the? Yeah, that's fine. This Gravios lance is badass. It like does a ton of damage, and it comes with like maxed out shield up. What? Hey, you can't get away from me, guy. Ha! How about thee? Ha! 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 How about thee? Ha! 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 Does that already have a wound open? Or is it just glowing? Charge! Wait. Charge! I don't think I'm going to be able to reach that wound. Oh, I reached it! Get the face. Get the face again! Granch, what are you doing here? Uh-oh, guys. There's someone I need you to meet. Hopefully, all these randos can hold off both T-Rexes while I introduce somebody new. Come here. Come here. Come here. No? Too sleepy? He's too sleepy. Let me see if I can just move the camera so you can see him. This is so nauseating. Wrong way. You see him? See that little guy back there? Granch, what are you doing back there? Anyway, I gotta help these randos fight a T-Rex, but if he sticks around, I'll bring him over. Ah, the tail! They got the tail! Where is it? Where's the tail? Oh, maybe they didn't get the tail. It's just broken. Alright, I'm a very bad raid host, it seems. But a bunch of people showed up right away. I think there's a market for fighting. Oh my god, both T-Rexes at once. Let's get them. Oh wait, no, that's a Rathalos. Yeah, you thought you were going to get up, but instead... Is this the other one? No. No, this is the tempered one, because it had a blue... Okay. Gotta get the tail. Charge! I don't need a secret. Actually, yes I do. I'm gonna run out of stamina. Yeah, Grunch, Pavlov, our dear Pavlov, passed away. And we mourned him for several months. We still have pictures of him around. We love that little guy. But eventually we thought it was time to get a new dog. So Grunch was available for the position, and he is definitely following on Pavlov's footsteps in that he is a beggar. He will beg the shit out of you while you're eating. And we definitely, so towards the end of Pavlov's life, we were a lot like, you know what, like, it used to be that we would like only feed him a little bit of human food here and there, just as a little snack or whatever, or like, but never like scraps or anything. And so Grunch really has benefited from how lax we became towards the end of Pavlov's life, because we were like, well, Pavlov's, he's old. Like, there's no point in us, like, not giving him tasty human food, because, he's going to go soon. But Grunch is a nice young dog who is, like, very spoiled. He is very spoiled about human food. We feed him, like, we don't give him scraps, necessarily, but sometimes we kind of do. Like, if, sometimes if, like, my wife doesn't finish her food, she'll just, like, give it to him. And I'm like, that's a little bit much. But he is cute, so he's got that going for him. This T-Rex is tough. He's very tempered. Did we drop them? We dropped them. Nice. One T-Rex down, one to go. Harvestry says, I'm glad Pavlov set Grunch up for a good snacking hierarchy. Yeah, he is definitely benefiting from a very lax, what I want to say, a very lax policy on snacks. Likeness says, Gimli always eats the last of my food, then he doesn't beg. He lays down and waits because he always knows he gets something. Yeah, that's part of the problem is that we're not very consistent about it. Like, I make it a point to not always give Grunch food so that he has to expect that he's not always going to get food, right? Because he's not always going to get food. And definitely, if we have people over or whatever, like, he has to expect. But sometimes, if he doesn't get food, if like a little while goes around and we haven't given him anything, he'll like growl and bark, and I'm like, absolutely not. So I'm trying to stop that before it like becomes a habit, because I do not need to have people over at my house and have my dog growl at them because they don't give him any food. They're going to think I don't feed him, which I do. In fact, that's another thing that happens. My wife and I have very different schedules. So, definitely in the early days of having Grunch, he would get dinner twice or breakfast twice, and I'm like, well, good for him, I guess. So, we definitely feed this dog at home. If you ever meet him somewhere else and he's begging for your food, it's just because he's a little beggar. Oh, Lance is so good. Like, guys, Lance is so good. Like, uh, fighting an Arcveld with a switch axe is an adventure. You're like moving in and out. You're trying to catch it. You're trying to catch the. You're trying to catch him with the offsets. You're just like bobbing and weaving and charging up your thing or whatever. Fighting an Arcveld with a lance is like Zen. It's like you just block until he's done doing stuff, and then you just punch him in the face 20 times, and then you just stop and you block for a little while, and then you just punch him in the face again 20 times, and like it's not a problem. It's like so easy. Obviously, depends who you're playing with. Your friends or randos can make it very hard, but mostly it's very easy. Also, there's that whole thing about like, well, who gets to pop the wounds? But I don't care. This is my T-Rex, so I'm popping all the wounds that they let me pop. What am I fighting with? Oh, none of these guys care about wounds anyway. If I had like a dual blade or like a kinsect, like an insect glaive, then maybe. Eh, eh. Oh, Lagnus is taken off. Thanks, Lagnus. Harvest says, I like SNS for Arkveld. The sliding mobility is great. These kneecaps have my name on them. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I never switched out of trank bombs. I need to get my whetstone out. Although I guess I kind of don't. Like, it's actually not taking a lot of... Yeah, this party, I know why, I feel like the tempered guy took as long as it did, because we only have one kind of damage dealer class in the um, Gunlands. So everything else is just added damage from the hunting horn. I have not fought this T-Rex very much. I like there's some monsters that I think I really enjoy fighting. And I've kind of weirdly prioritized those as far as their gear. It's like I like everything about them. I like playing them, and their gear is cool. But this T-Rex is cool. The first one I fought, like during the story, just kicked my butt. And so I think I've been kind of avoiding fighting them just because I'm like, oh no, they're very hard, but they're really not. They're not harder than any other monster in the game. You just gotta figure out what their deal is. Oh, his little hand has a wound.